Hi, welcome to Analytics for All. This is lesson 3 in our Python for Data Science course. This is the course that will take you from a complete beginner into learning how to make your own machine learning model in Python. Now in this lesson, we're going to cover printing variables and user input. This should be a quick lesson. We're just going to go right into the Jupyter Notebook and get started. Okay, I have my notebook open. If you're not familiar with how to use Jupyter Notebooks, you can go back and check lesson 1 where I teach you how to install this and how to use the Jupyter Notebook. But let's move forward, assuming you understand this. Again, these early lessons are for people kind of new to programming. So if you have some experience, you might want to skip ahead to some later lessons. But here we're going to work with actually printing out a variable. Okay, so here, let me start a little bit. Let me go, if I can push this one up. Let's take a variable. Let's give it an assignment. Let's call this n, x. Okay. Give it a value. And if I were to say here, we should actually just make a new. If I just say what's x, and it will tell me, and I can print x. Not a hard thing to do. And you're like, all right, okay, no problem. But if I wanted to say, I have x guitars, because I have a bad collection problem. If I printed that, it's just going to say X. If I try to, put some quotes in there, it's going to fail. Okay? So the way you actually do this in Python is by using a stand-in. And for a number, you're going to use the stand-in of the percentage sign D. Okay? So let's look down here. So again, I've assigned X to 10, and I'm going to say print. This is the square root of 100, and I put in that XD there. Now, notice that XD is inside the quote. It's there. It's inside the quote. I didn't break the quotes or escape the quotes out there. And then here, I match it. I have another percentage sign and X, my variable. So what I'm saying is when you go to print this, I want you to go to look for the variable and put that value in that D. Okay? So there you go. The square root of 100 is 10. Now notice you got to put that space. You don't put that space there. Keep in mind. Keep in mind formatting when you do this. If you don't put the space, you'll have no space there. All right. So put back. Okay. Now, what if we want to have more than one variable in there? So okay, so we've got x equals 3, y equals 9. All right. So here we go. Print the number d squared equals, again, it's d. Notice I didn't have d1, d2. No, it's just in order. It's going to know in order which way it goes. So print there, and I have my x and my y. So this x, the first variable, is going to go to the first instance of D, and y is going to go to the second instance of D. Okay. Now, if we want to do strings, like here, I'm going to assign n to my name Ben. My name is, we use percentage %s. So percentage %s, and again, I just a single thing here. And just to add on in case we want to try it, let's, just for fun, we have our x from above and my n, so let's go ahead and just say print my name is S, and I have D dogs. Okay, then we come out here, boom, and we put n, because that's the first thing we want is the string, and then we're going to put x for the, there we go. My name is Ben, and I have 3 dogs. Now if I go mix those up, I switch them, put the x in front of the n, see what happens. I get an error code, and notice the error says D format, the number is required, not a string. So S, it didn't matter, because the string, you can pass a number to a string, it'll just be viewed as a string. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's what I got for the error. All right, let's go to the next step. Let's work on input. Now, if you want to get user input, it's really simple. It's just the word input, and then you can put a prompt. You don't have to put a prompt there. but you can. I put one just to play around with. So what happens is I'm going to say enter a number, and when I run this, there it goes. It gives me a slot, and I can type in a number, and it prints it out. There we go. Now here's the catch, though. Watch this. Enter a number, and it still works. Well, Ben's not. We don't want that. We want a number. So one way around that is you can apply a clarifier. You can wrap the value. So notice I put this outside of the input thing. I put integer. And as we all know, integer is a number. It's a number with no floats, no trailing numbers behind it. It has to be a whole number. So I can go here, and I can put 6, and enter. It'll work. If I do Ben, it's taking a second to run this cell because it's seeing an error, I'm sure. Now you can see it failed. It failed because it's not valid. You can also, if I tried to put a float, if I go 6, put 6, same thing, it fails. I could fix that by changing this to a float. And then if I can put in 6.6, and that'll work. So again, this is just a quick lesson, inputting and printing variables. We'll just go through this quickly, move on to the next lesson. As with all my lessons, I have a full write-up on my website, analyticsforall.org. I will drop a link to that down in the description. And this will also bring you back. You can check out everything we did here. You can read it. Again, if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Go ahead and leave me a comment below. Tell me what else you'd like me to work on. Until next time, this is Ben Larson with Analytics for All. Thank you very much.